This show is sponsored by Bitonic. Invest in Bitcoin with ease.
Connetti il mondo.
Francis Mars, Chaindual, PubPay, Portugal.
In the fiat world, people track their steps or count calories. Meanwhile, you're counting Lightning invoices. With spending sats as your favorite sport, would you still go for it if your phone was at 3% battery and the invoice timer was ticking down?
Yes.
You listed grilled whatever as your favorite food, which is refreshingly open-minded and deeply chaotic. Have you ever sat down, taken a bite, and immediately thought, maybe I should have asked what it was first?
Yes.
V for Vendetta made an anonymity and resistance iconic long before Nostr or privacy coins came along. Would you say that movie generally helped shape how you think about power and decentralization?
Yes.
Roger 9000 creates soundscapes that feel both dystopian and hyper-Bitcoin native. Have you ever caught yourself thinking this music should be a wallet interface theme?
Yes.
Sparkling water is either a refined pleasure or a fizzy betrayal, depending who you ask. Do you truly prefer bubbles over still water, or is it more about keeping your edge at Bitcoin meetups?
Yes, I prefer.
El Salvador is your favorite place to be, a citadel for the brave and Bitcoin curious. But was there ever a moment where the volcano bonds meets lightning future narrative felt a bit overpromised?
Yes.
Andreas Antonopoulos was early guiding voice for so many Bitcoiners, clear, calm, and radical. Did his work ever spark a deeper shift in your thinking beyond just the tech, like trust, governance, or personal responsibility?
Yes.
The Bitcoin mantra has long been stay humble, stack sats. But you flipped that into something more active. Stay humble, spend sats. Do you believe that if people don't start spending sats, the whole circular economy could stall before it takes off?
Yes.
Giacomo Zucco is razor sharp and allergic to nonsense, specifically on Twitter. Have you ever paused before posting something because you imagined him tweeting it with no?
No.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 142 of Connect the World, and this show is made possible by our friends from Bitonic and BRINGIN. Thank you guys for helping us with our mission to connect the world with Bitcoin through the Lightning Network. And if you also want to help out with our mission, then head over to our Twitter account or X account, Nostr, of course, or subscribe at our YouTube. And if you have any questions at all, then head over to one of our Telegram groups where you can ask us anything.
Heel Knut. Wel.
Welcome, Francis.
Francis, good to have you.
Thank you, guys.
Good to have you on the show.
You're a quite busy man, Francis.
Yeah,
I mean,
depends off the face.
So many things to talk about.
Yeah, man.
I was thinking, about your questions, of course. The Giacomo Zucco question, you said no. So you never paused, never.
Not that I don't question myself ever, but not specifically because of Giacomo. No, I never did.
This is the moment of truth, right?
Yeah.
And I also saw a question about the grilling, whatever. We asked you what's your favorite food. You said whatever is grilled, it's fine for me. And then you said, and I asked you, maybe there was some time where you should have asked what it was first before you ate the meal. And I have a similar experience because I was in a Portuguese restaurant of all places, and then we had some food, and it was great. And then I asked, what is the specialty of the chef? And they said, well, it's tortilla. But they told me the Portuguese, it was not, it was like, it was a kind of a tortilla, like a pancake thing. But they told me the Portuguese name. And I said, well, okay, bring it, no problem. And then I ate it, but they brought it and I already recognized it because I thought it looked like tongue or something, but just like a real tongue, not sliced or something, but a real tongue. And I started eating it, and it was a very strange structure and all. And then I asked the waitress, what was it? And she said, yeah, it was a veal tongue. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't know if I had
veal
to choose. Veal tongue. And I was like, I don't know if I had to choose that, if I knew what it was,
Was it tasty? Bit chewy?
I don't know. The structure was very weird. Organic meat. I'm also a big meat lover, but
everybody will tune out now.
Yeah, but I don't like organic meat or something, So I only the normal parts of meat. That's my favorite food. But also
do you also eat beef, for example? I mean, that's also quite chewy, right?
I have to tell you that this was not the worst that could have happened to you in Portugal.
No. What is the worst? Tell me.
I think one of the common things that people like to mention in this situation is leeches.
Yeah.
One of the common dishes in Portugal, not common, but it's like a specialty that people do, but not everybody likes it. Is leeches.
Leeches, yeah, okay. And what was your worst experience?
Well, nothing that I remember right now, to be honest. Maybe some. This is not grilled, but my worst experience was one time in Thailand that I got sick at 3 a.m. I was a bit tipsy and I ate in this kind of street restaurant.
Yeah.
And I don't want to continue this conversation.
No, I can imagine. Yeah, they always say no, never eat from the streets. When you're European. Never eats from the streets because
you forget the good practices.
Yeah, sure. You're hungry, you just want to eat something.
But how do the people there eat it then? Is it just they're accustomed to do it and then nothing happens, or is it just bad luck?
The water, they are used to the water and they can use some water for cooking.
Yeah.
But I think in this case was the egg was not cooked well, and maybe it was.
So it was bad luck then. Also,
maybe
it was bad luck.
You're not gonna do it again.
It's like your baptism.
Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine. Hey, and El Salvador is your favorite holiday destination. Have you been there already a couple of times, or?
I've been there 3 times.
3 times? Oh, that's
3
a lot.
times. Okay, yeah.
So I normally go in the time of around the conference, the Adopting Bitcoin.
Yeah, sure.
But we always take a bit longer to travel around, also to have the opportunity to visit the Bitcoin places, spend some sats, try to see how the adoption is going, and I also organized some side events, not directly in the conference. In the conference, normally I organize Chaindual, and we also do some pub-based stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 years ago, I was involved in this hackathon for kids in the mountains. There was this school, and we made an initiative there. So
nice.
It was very cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool. Also gave an opportunity to get to know better the country in other places that maybe I wouldn't have explored so much.
Yeah.
But also as a tourist, it's beautiful. The beaches and the Mayan ruins, the volcanoes, and there's a lake, the volcano that is really beautiful to spend a few days there. It's amazing.
Cool. And awesome. Did you notice any differences in between the maybe the second time you were there, the third time, that there were some notable differences in using maybe Bitcoin? Things got easier, or maybe things got harder because of the government stopping with the Chivo wallet and all that kind of stuff, maybe.
Well, last time I was there in November, there was not yet this. Chivo was still operating normally. But to be honest, in the first year, it was the beginning. People were still the population was still not trusting so much Bitcoin. They thought it was government money.
Yeah.
They didn't understand the concept very well.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of education. There was a lot of you can see that the people changed their mind, and there was people were a bit more receptive to talk about it, and even to accept Bitcoin as an individual. In terms of adoption, like business-wise, I don't think it changed that much, to be honest. People say it's declining even, so I don't
really? Yeah.
Very well. Well, so some places that used to accept, they stopped accepting.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, other places that didn't accept before, now they do accept. So I cannot tell you for sure that is declining, but there's people.
I'm always curious about the reason why they stopped.
Because it's not mandatory anymore, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But even before this, I'm not sure. I'm not aware how it was ever since the law changed. I believe that it's because mostly people need the dollars to spend.
Yeah,
even if it's possible to spend in the supermarkets, in some gas stations.
Yeah,
it's not as convenient for them as having dollars, and they are afraid of the volatility. So sometimes they even prefer to use stable coins. In Chivo and in Blink, you can have stables.
I mean, with Blink, that's so easy then, right? But you also need explanation. You need some guidance.
And also because when you withdraw for them, I know this because last year we met this local family, and of course we were a group of Bitcoiners, and we completely tried to orange pill them the most we could.
For sure.
And they really were receptive, and they really were fascinated by all the information that we were able to provide, me and a group of Bitcoiners.
They're never gonna forget it, right? Such a conversation is interesting.
So, for example, this lady, she was bringing us breakfast every day. We were paying her in Bitcoin, and so I had to help her in every step of the process. And for example, the first time I didn't want her to use Shivo because everybody has such a negative opinion on Shivo. So I installed a Phoenix, I installed all Satoshi, I tried to explain the difference, what is easier, what is more convenient. And then she tried to withdraw money from the ATM, that they have these Shivo ATMs everywhere. But she had to pay a huge fee because it's like a mining fee and a kind of business fee. So I'm not sure about the details. So then we did understand that if she transfers the sats to her Shivo wallet first, and then she used the Shivo wallet to withdraw from the ATM, she didn't pay anything. The government was apparently the government was covering these costs.
That's right. Yeah.
So it has some learning curve there. Even for us that are more advanced technologically, or we love this technology, so we are paying attention.
It's always the balance between explaining something or a tool that is easier, but with it being more easy, it also lacks control, and that means that you don't understand it, and then you can make an error or something. So sometimes I
referred her to Mi Primer Bitcoin education, which is already in Spanish. So
that's perfect.
Her English was barely non-existent. So everything in Spanish for them was very convenient. I even told her, like, you should give it to your children. They should read this. It will be very good for their future.
Yeah,
and she totally believed it, and she was so receptive that we wanted to help her more. So then we organized an event there. It was an event. It was a Chaindual event. We do these Chaindual events. And she provided all the catering. She cooks for us. She shops, and everybody. And then we used the app that we have, Pay Live, for tipping her while she was
cool.
She was serving. Everybody in the party was zapping her. and then she's been attending these women on Bitcoin events, and she has an Nostrdam account, and
nice.
It's really
cool. So the orange pill was succeeded.
Yes, some cases really work.
Cool. If you make it fun, then of course, why not? I mean, that's great, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, we already touched a bit on
Yeah.
on the projects you're working on, Chaindual and Puppet. But before we dive into the 20 minutes to talk about it, maybe you can tell us a bit, a short version of how your journey from exploring Bitcoin to building Lightning games, how that developed in that way. And we also learned that you are developing both projects with Pedro. I assume it's a good friend of you, or just someone anonymous online. We don't know. But please tell us, how did you guys met, and how came the idea to start those projects?
So we are both Portuguese, but we didn't know each other before because he was living in the States for many years. I started my Bitcoin journey like most people. I got in the rabbit hole. I started to research everything I could, try to learn as much I can. And because I already am a software developer by trade, so it was some of the concepts already attracted me, the technology, try to understand the little details. And also don't trust, verify, because I'm a software developer, really pulled me in because I really wanted to make sure that this was a good investment, that this was all something that I wanted to dedicate my life to, not only what people were saying on Twitter or whatever. Yeah. So I dived more deeply into the protocol, and I wanted to do something. As I learned more and I got so addicted, I wanted to do something cool, something to learn more, not only about Bitcoin, but about software development, about how to run a project that has users, that all these little things that are all individual skills. And while I was reading, this was back in 2018, I think, I was reading Mastering Bitcoin by Andreas Antonopoulos and other people that helped him write the book. And there was a little chapter in the end that mentioned Lightning. It was still like something novel. That explained that very lightly, very shortly, how Lightning works. And I got amazed. I didn't understand very well. People were already talking about it, but I didn't understand that it was trustless, that it was atomic, the payments. I didn't understand the little concepts or why they were like this, and I got fascinated. And I thought, okay, let's build a simple project, whatever I can, that is fun for me to develop, but also that I can implement Lightning and learn more about this. And then for a month or two, I was addicted trying to implement this Snake 2-player video game, just because I thought it was fun and simple enough that I would be able to do it alone. But then this was more work than I expected, because then I implemented an online game that there was already multiplayer, peer-to-peer online, and artificial intelligence for the players to play against. And then I kind of dropped that project for a while. But that's when, a few months later, I went to BTC Azores. It's a very technical Bitcoin conference in Azores. That's also a Portuguese island. And because, well, in between these, I was working for Vulpan Ventures, which is a Bitcoin company that focuses on Liquid mostly, and Elements, which is the protocol. But after this, I went to BTC Azores, and I met a lot of technical people there, a lot of my good Bitcoin friends that even to this day I like to talk to and to cooperate with. I met them in this conference. And I also met Pedro. And Pedro, I think it was the first Portuguese person I met that was so addicted to Bitcoin as me. That when you meet a person that can only think about Bitcoin, you know.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, after a few days hanging out on the island and going to the conference and then hanging out with the Bitcoiners, I casually mentioned my Snake video game. And Pedro got really excited, and he imagined. Pedro is very creative and he's a designer, so he likes to see things as images. Yeah. So he immediately imagined a version that we changed the graphics, because he has his project called Anatomy of Bitcoin. That is a 3D visualization of the blockchain, or even more of the deep technical concepts of Bitcoin. So he reimagined this concept that would use more or less the same aesthetic. And he got me in touch with a Bitcoin Miami conference. that invited me to develop the game and to build an arcade machine to have at the conference.
Nice.
And this was like super exciting, amazing, especially because at the time I decided, this was after COVID, and at the time I decided to go back to study my master's degree, to try to deepen my knowledge about computer science, to try to see how I can contribute more and be more involved in Bitcoin. And I thought, okay, let's go try to see if this can benefit me somehow, to get more knowledge. But I also tried to get more involved in Bitcoin at the same time. So that's why I started going to more conferences and stuff. So I was doing my master's, but I also started doing this project, Chaindual. But at the same time, maybe I'm going too deep on this. At the same time, I was invited to go to a Lightning conference in Tuscany. And this, which was before Miami. So this rushed me to actually develop the game, complete the game, make it polished enough that players can interact with it without breaking or while understanding what was going on.
Yeah.
And then after Tuscany and after Miami, Chaindual grew, and I introduced the tournament mode, and we introduced more features, and from then me and Pedro worked very closely together to try to grow the game.
Yeah, and a lot more people saw it in action, right? So that also works. Yeah, that a lot of people see it in action and then want to
Chaindual
play.
went straight to production. There was no beta. There was
okay, cool. And nice. Well, I think this is the perfect introduction, Francis, for the 21 minutes, because we're going to start with Chaindual. So if you are ready, and I think you are, then we would like to enter the 21 minutes, man.
The 21 minutes is brought to you by BRINGIN, the app to reliably sell and spend Bitcoin from any wallet. Yeah, well, you once said that Chaindual started as a way to teach yourself Lightning. Why did you choose a two-player snake game, and what made it click with people?
So, like I was saying just before, I thought it was something easy and fun to develop. Yeah. I also enjoy competitive video games, and I grew up playing a lot of sports, and I enjoy competitive modalities. So I wanted to do something that is competitive, that is fun for people to play, but in a competitive way. And Snake seems so simple, but according to the mechanics, if the game theory is fair, it can be competitive. So I think that's one of the reasons initially people start to enjoy the game, because it's really fun to be playing against another person. Of course, when there's stats on the line, it gets even more
competitive,
enticing, more the tunnel vision that you are while playing the game. If you want to learn the stats. But also, all the little elements that we added throughout the game that are references to Bitcoin, that we use the nomenclature and the jargon of Bitcoin for people to be learning a bit while they are playing the game or having some analogies. I think people also like this a lot.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, because Chaindual's games mechanics are heavily inspired by Bitcoin concepts, as you already mentioned just now. Could you break down how it mirrors Lightning, especially with the longest chain wins mechanic and even block rewards? Are you guys referring to? Maybe you can explain how this mirrors Lightning.
The game, for you to register to play to wager for a duel, you already start by depositing some sats, which is already a very cool experience. I'm sorry if I'm going slightly off topic, but this is already a very cool experience because everybody comes with their own Lightning wallet. I go to different countries, different conferences. Everybody has different technological or Bitcoin cultures, so everybody has different wallets according to where you are. And it's a demonstration that it's this technology is permissionless, so everybody can build on it, and everybody can come with their own software, with their own wallets, and interact with each other. So, and it's immediate, it's instantaneous. And I'm using LNURL, so you can send a note attached to the payment, which will be your name, your player name on the game. And just this interaction that most of the people that, at least Of course, now people have played more the game, they already are used to it. But in the beginning, the first time, they get really amazed how Lightning is instantaneous, how it can transport information, how you are also transporting value across borders, trustlessly, permissionless. So people get really amazed with this initially already. People that are very experienced Bitcoiners.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then, to be more direct to your question, in the game menu, we have this mechanic of the block reward, which is like, so there's two chains. The chains are competing to capture the block reward. So this is like the lore of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
It's what's happening. There can be a chain split right now. There can be two miners that find a block at a very similar moment. And there's a chain split. And for these minutes there, maybe half of the network is competing to try to build on top of the different block. So Chaindual is like a moment in time in a Bitcoin network.
Yeah.
So this kind of brings like the fantasy, the imagination of the players up.
Yeah.
And they are competing to capture the coin base, the block reward, which is like the snake is the chain, the block reward is the food. And it's kind of competitive. There's a proof of work associated like in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And we also have this API, the mempool API, that if the new block is mined, there on the bottom of the game, there's like relevant information about the game. So the how many transactions on the last block, what was the average fee, the median fee, what was the block size, these little things that people normally don't pay so much attention, but now it's in front of everybody. But when there's a new block and the information changes, it also introduces a new food block reward on the game.
Oh, cool.
So people are directly interacting with the mining, with the blockchain.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah,
and you can see people on the audience cheering because now all of a sudden there was a new block mine, so it's changing all the game dynamics, and you see this interaction directly with Bitcoin that honestly there's not so many places where groups of people come to interact with the blockchain and to have this adoption experience. So people get really excited on this.
And at the time of the halving, did you also made the food in half? That's like, I mean, I can
cool.
imagine. Yeah,
we were celebrating the halving in the Bitcoin Film Fest in Warsaw. They did a halving party, but the halving was like at 2 a.m. or 3 at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody was playing the game.
Okay. Will be a nice feature though.
It will be that maybe for the next one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's interesting to talk a little bit about the revenue split system that you built, because
if I can finish what I was saying.
Yeah, of course.
On the top of the game, this is more directly to the question, because you talked about the block reward, but you also talk about Lightning.
Yeah.
So it's not the longest chain that wins the game, even though there are some benefits for being the longest chain, because the longer your chain is, the more sats you are stealing from the opponent when you capture a block reward. But on the top, we have these demonstrated in an image or in an animated frame, which is like there's the liquidity of the channel. And as you take sats from the opponent, the liquidity is moving.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then when the person has all the liquidity, they win the game, which is also an analogy for a Lightning channel.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry,
hey,
and then you asked the...
about the split. Well, I was thinking, how did the idea of Lightning prisms influence it?
So, exactly. This was actually Pedro's idea initially. At the time, there was this article by Gigi about Lightning prisms.
It's about automatic splitting, right, of a single payment among multiple recipients.
This article, there was this analogy that the payments can be like light, and they can be split and joined and split, and like streaming sats, like the concept, similar to the concept. And we try to implement it in a creative way. That is, each time a player deposits sats, so in the registration of the game or the tournament or the practice mode or the Nostrdam mode now, it instantly, automatically sends a small percentage, 2% for me. Normally there's a host. If you want to organize your own meetup and play Chaindual, you can put your Lightning address and you also get 2% instantaneously. Yeah. And also for Pedro, it's that's 1%. But this is cool because it demonstrates in action the lightning splits. But sometimes I'm at conferences and I can immediately show to the players, you see, like you paid 3,000 sats, I got around 60, is like 58 because of the fee. I get 58 sats instantaneously. It goes through my node to my Vault Satoshi or my Blink or whatever automatically. And it can be useful for me sometimes because I'm at a conference and I'm having lunch or I'm outside chilling with some Bitcoiners. I'll instantaneously see there was a payment on the game. I get some sats and it's like a warning. Oh, I have to go back to teach them how to play or to see how things go.
Yeah. It's time to get to work.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice. Hey, and you've also used Chaindual at major conferences. What makes it so effective at breaking down Lightning for people that just aren't familiar with Lightning? Because some people are familiar with Bitcoin, obviously, because they're going to a major conference. So I assume that they already know the basics of Bitcoin. But what makes it so effective at breaking down Lightning? Yeah, maybe the split payment you already mentioned just now, but are there some more things you can think about?
So, first of all, Chaindual was developed on purpose for a conference, which is like, there's not many projects that are like this. That maybe a lot of conferences, they make a project that lasts for one conference, but it's not supposed to be a project that is lasting for years.
No.
So Chaindual was built on purpose to entertain, to educate, to engage. It's the purpose of Chaindual. Because for example, if Chaindual was built for revenue, for profit, we would not be splitting sats to everybody, to like the hosts or to the conferences and maybe we would be selling skins and maybe we would accept shitcoins and maybe
yeah.
So Chaindual was made on purpose for illustrating, for educating, for entertainment.
Yeah.
And I think it, of course, there was also some luck maybe involved, but it worked very well since the beginning. It grew a lot with the tournament mode. With the tournament mode, it brings more people. A lot of people don't like to play, they like to watch. So if there's a tournament happening and there's a lot of people playing and there's people cheering and the crowd is kind of going wild, it attracts more people and there's more education. And then while people are on the audience, they are, I have a Bitcoin company of custodian. I'm a custodian. Oh, I'm an investor of I don't know what. And then they make business while watching Chaindual. So the repercussions are huge. So, and this happened. I'm not thinking this. This already happened.
Hey, and talking about the audience, you also tease with some wild ideas like tipping the game's outcome, that the audience can maybe do that. What are some other crazier Chaindual ideas that you love to make in the future?
So for now, the only thing that we implemented that is kind of fun for the audience is that if it's a zap, if it's a Nostrdam mode, the audience can zap the game post, and their name and the little message will be displayed on the game while people are playing. So right now it's not directly influencing the game because since I like competitive sports and esports, I want to make sure that the game is fair. I want to make sure that the people that play Chaindual because they like the competitive side of it are not going to lose a game because somebody decided to send sats to the other player. Because we have a lot of ideas like this. For example, of course, a lot of the audience asks for betting.
Yeah.
Legal repercussions of that, so we didn't implement it. But if people want to implement it, they can. I don't know.
And, I can imagine that people would like that.
Yeah, betting.
What I'm thinking that we are thinking that I think it's fun and it doesn't change the outcome as much is audience can zap or tip the game with Lightning, and that would go for the pot, so the players would benefit from it. And maybe if it reaches like targets, it can give boosts to both players.
Yeah.
Such as going a bit faster or jumping or a little pistol that can shot or little things. It can be fun. but it has to be fair for both players.
Yeah, cool.
Using Lightning or Nostr.
You also hinted at Chaindual becoming an online experience, but it isn't online yet on a purpose. So what would it take for you to scale it globally?
Global is a big word.
Why not?
So Chaindual right now is made for people to play in the same room together. The game is online, so you can go to the website in your meetup, or if you have a little event, you can use the website and bring people. You can play on the keyboard or get some controllers and people can have fun. So the game is online. What is not is a massive multiplayer online experience that I mentioned that I'm, of course, since day one, especially because the Snake Duel from before was already online, like in that sense. So, of course, there's some concerns, legal and also technological, like in terms of lag, how to scale it, how to make it, how to follow all the Bitcoin principles, how to not sell out for profits, because for me to scale globally, I would need VCs to come in, and then I would have to sell out somehow, to compromise somehow to get the. So I think it's beneficial for Chaindual that the growth is slow, and that we can keep but also because we are very privileged that because of the way Chaindual was built, and that it really provides entertainment and engagement on Lightning for the conferences. They were basically our main supporters so far, and other than the community. So conferences keep inviting us, they keep providing the space, they keep sometimes helping with expenses for us to be there for us, because
that's great.
It's amazing. It's really unbelievable that I'm blessed enough to be living this experience, that I developed a small Bitcoin pet project because of my love. And now I'm able to go around and not only display my project, but also teach Lightning and Bitcoin. And often I'm the first contact that people have with Bitcoin. Often it's me telling them, install this wallet, I'll send you some sats, I'll explain you how this works. And then you interact with the game, and then you lose the sats to me, so I get them back.
That's the trick.
We experienced it live at Brian Amsterdam. It was so much fun.
Yeah, you had lunch. You had lunch on expenses of Edward, Francis.
I mean, I lost, and I was happy about it. I mean, hey, nice. Let's head over to Pape, because you also contribute. Well, you thought about the project Pape.me, and there's also Pape Live. That's a whole other thing. But Pape does .me turns Zaps into payment too. What is it exactly, and how does it fit into your vision between, when you think about integration between Bitcoin, Lightning, and Nostr also?
So Pape came from this experience that me and Pedro had last year there's what they call the Sovereign Engineer cohort. It's in Madeira. And it's organized by big minds of Nostr and Bitcoin, and they bring developers from all around the world to just for 2 months to discuss, to brainstorm, and to develop projects that are related to Nostr or eCash or Lightning. And we decided to attend last year. And we already at Chaindual, we were already in this journey. And we implemented the Nostr mode in Chaindual. So that would allow people to zap a post that is created with a game ID. And then instead of just being a Lightning payment, it also comes with the identity associated. That's the zap. And it can provide informations about the player in-game, like the name and the image, that before there was no picture on the game of the players. But also can create a social component that everybody on Nostr can see this game is happening, these players are playing. Nobody can deny they signed this up, so that they are the ones that really are playing. And then we can also announce the scores, or to boost the winner, or to make people that are watching zap the post for interaction with the game, or trying to explore more the concept of Nostr, how to make Nostr not only the Twitter clone, while benefiting from the social component of Nostr.
Yeah.
And this was our first interaction with Nostr in terms of development. But we saw a lot of difficulties because Nostr is still in the early stages. The software
of course.
is getting better. There's a lot of very smart people that really like Nostr and they keep developing the stack. But there were some obstacles, of course. And we thought, how can we continue this work, not only for Chaindual, but also because it's something important for us that we like is that benefit with the interoperability of all the softwares. Because in Chaindual, it's already happened with the wallets. For example, last year, Blink had to fork. They on GitHub they made they made a pull request. They improved the code that because in Chaindual you scan the LN URL and there's a minimum amount that players have to pay. But some wallets don't implement properly the protocol that the minimum amount should automatically be filled on the wallet when you scan the. So they mentioned Chaindual on the pull request. They said we are doing this because of Chaindual.
Nice.
That's
this
amazing,
kind of stuff
right?
is really cool, and so we like to be testing to have a software that is able to test different softwares that are from the community, and because we are testing different softwares with the same product, we can see that maybe the protocol is not implemented here, or maybe this is not working correctly. And then we can provide feedback for the software makers, the developers.
Yeah, of course. And then
we all, as an industry, as a community, benefit from this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So, we thought, how can we make Nostr less the Twitter clone? How can we make this a social, cool experience that maybe people will like and maybe people will use and maybe will benefit other softwares, other protocol stacks? And we came up with PubPay that is also similar to the way we do Nostr mode in Chaindual, that we create a public event, a kind one in Nostr that is like a post. And in this case, people can request payment on the event itself. So they can be like, Steph can create a post like, Edward is owing me 100,000 sats. And then Edward has to go there and press pay. And then zaps him, so everybody no, I don't owe you any more money.
No, we're settled.
We're settled, you can look it up.
Exactly. It's also
and it's
cool.
Public, so
This is very cool for, it can be for fundraising, it can be like in conferences, somebody likes to pay lunch and then gets the sats from everybody. What? I hear
the TikTok,
So,
doesn't matter.
In this case, the person creates a post on PubPay. They're like, 5 people have to send me from 20 to 40,000 sats each. And then they just have to go there and press pay. They zap. Instead of being like a like on a social media, it's more like a splitwise kind of UX. And when they pay, when it's 5 people paid, then you cannot pay anymore. It's already completed. The payment.
Then you can't pay extra.
So this kind of a splitwise meets Venmo. This is
cool, very cool. I like the idea. And especially when combining it with Nostr, as you already mentioned, and it's like it's open, right? So everybody can track history and everybody can see if one is playing by the rules or not. So I really like the idea,
And what I like now is that you go to papi.me and you see all the people that are using it, and you can anonymously give some sats.
You can also zap anonymously.
Yeah, that's fun.
Really in Bitcoin, many payments, people want them to be private, but not every payment has to be private. So
absolutely.
That's why we came up with PubPay.
Connetti il mondo.
Yeah, very nice, man.
Being public.
I'm also checking it out here. So we can do another episode.
We can do some for Connect the World, man. Maybe
some good ideas
when we publish this episode, we can do something with it. I love it.
Maybe. Experiment with it. And we still have one question left for you, Francis. And the fun thing is, you may choose yourself because we pre-recorded a question from Aaron van Weerdum from Bitcoin Magazine, the journalist. also wrote a great book, the Genesis book about the history of Bitcoin. We have a question for Pierre Carbin, and he's from Flash. And we have a question, and this also might be interesting for you, from Lucas Ferreira from Venjum. Yeah, man, it's a difficult choice.
It's difficult. I like the work of these three guys. Well, let's go with Lucas.
Okay, Lucas.
The lightning.
Okay, here he comes.
I'm Lucas Ferreira, and I want to know what aspect of the Bitcoin culture you dislike the most.
Bring it on, Francis.
I really admire his work. And I was already expecting something like this. So I think, me personally, as I'm a spend sats kind of guy, what I dislike the most about Bitcoin is the hodl culture. Is the stacking culture. Is the number go up culture.
The digital gold culture.
Maybe like Bitcoin, of course, has value, as like gold, as is money. So we're going to spend it. So it's like there's multiple characteristics of Bitcoin that maybe are not traditionally together. But me personally, since I have my products normally are also more based on people actually using the technology, using the Bitcoin, instead of accumulating wealth or
spending sets.
Yeah. But it's very hard to spend gold, right? If you're investing in gold, it's also for one reason only, and that's to protect your wealth or increase your wealth. I mean, I've never seen anyone paying for a game, for instance, or paying for bread at the bakery with gold. So that's why I mentioned the digital gold. But I know there's more around digital gold than only stacking gold, obviously. But it's difficult, right? Because Bitcoin is so big and there's so many different approaches. But I also like to spend my sets. But on the other hand, it's not as easy still for us here in Holland to do everything on Bitcoin. So
that's right.
It's like it's a dilemma, to be honest. Yeah, and
I ever since I started attending so many conferences, I feel it's much easier than before.
That's correct.
When you are always surrounded by Bitcoiners and when you are going to places that are focused on Bitcoin, but also in the time of the conferences that everybody's hyped on Bitcoin, it's easier than probably.
Yeah, and the thing is, a fun thing is, here in Holland at the Bitcoin Amsterdam conferences, we had Bitkassa providing the payment solution, and the year after it was what was the name again from our friend
Ibex?
Ibex Mercado. But they communicated like stats. So we would it was also a kind of leaderboard thing, right? So day one it was this, so you would overtop it every time, you know. So we were spending like hell to just increase the stats, right? So there's the gamification of spending your sets also. But it would be nice that it just isn't about the numbers anymore. It's just about, because it's super easy and just nice to spend sets. So
I think a mission is the people that are coming into the Bitcoin world or are investing a little bit in Bitcoin, that they also learn that it's you're able to spend it too. But if you come in from that way, it's something that you must learn. And that's why we need to educate more.
Yeah, I think still to this day, most people come to Bitcoin from the investment perspective.
Sure,
for sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
After their first cycle, and they start digging more, now their wealth is 10 times higher than before, and they are more interested in learning more to understand how it works.
I think that's right.
And the possibilities and how to meet other people that are interested on the same subject. All of this is like that's why Bitcoin is so amazing. It's never ending. What they call the rabbit hole. It's really bottomless.
It really
cool,
is.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, Francis, well, thanks again. Where can people follow you? And maybe a better question is maybe even, let's say one is organizing a conference or maybe just a nice Bitcoin meetup and they want to play Chaindual. Is it possible? Well, what do they have to do? Do they have to reach out to you or do they have to go to a website? Maybe you can tell us that.
So about Chaindual, you can have all the information on chaindual.net. That's chaindual.net. And about PubPay, it's pubpay.me, M-E. So these projects are open source. They are online. Everybody can access them. There's no limitations. And it already happened before, if you want to organize an event that people play Chaindual, you just go on the website, you get some controllers, a laptop and a television, and you're good to go. You can just play. We try to make it as easier as possible and also the most compatible with every device possible, and that's why it's a website.
Awesome.
The game by default.
But can you also maybe use like mobile phones as a controller, or do you need real computer controller, computer game console controllers?
I didn't do it. I have seen people connecting a game controller to a phone and playing on it.
Yeah.
Right
but
now,
I mean, using your phone as a controller.
Yes, this is not possible for the moment.
Okay.
You can play either with a keyboard or with a gamepad.
Okay.
And
well, they're cheap, so that's
they're
gamepads are cheap.
The ones I use for every tournament, it was like 20 euros each or something, and they last.
Nice.
But for PubPay, if you want to split the bills with your friends, if you want to request some sats, if you want some donations, like we did a partnership with HRF that people donated to activists, you can use pubpay.me. And if you want to make a performance, if you want to get a leaderboard of donations live, for example, for you guys, you were saying for the next episode, you can share one screen with PubPay Me Live. And as people are watching, they are zapped. But in the live, this is if it's live.
That's live. Yeah. But I understand the concept. That's fun.
People will zap you, and they will be seeing their name live while they are zap you. This can be used for performances or honestly any kind of. You just have to create a Nostrdam post, kind one, and then copy the link to PubPay Me Live, and it's done.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks, Francis. And for everybody else who's listening in, thanks. And of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us together. And if you like our content, then please support us in our mission. Visit our website, connecttheworld.live, where you can also make a donation and subscribe and like and share our content on your favorite platform. So remember, we need you to complete our mission, connect the world. So keep those nodes running, sats flowing. Maybe use pubkey.me. It's fun. And see you all next week on the same Lightning channel. Adeus, Francis.
Adeus.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.